GM. So, trade of the day. Do a quick update of the two trades, Injective and Pepe. So, Injective is a higher time frame position. Originally got long at 39 to 40, just around this breakout point, or just before that breakout point. We had the breakout then on Wednesday. We had the big flush. We had the nice reaction. Injective then took the highs and has fallen back inside. But that was the second false breakout. So I expect that to not be as impactful. I wouldn't be surprised if Injective can hold here and break higher. First time you see a false breakout, I usually expect a bigger sell-off back to support. Second time can sometimes just be a trap. False breakout, pulls back, people short or sell or close their positions, and then we rip on higher. Monthly, so we've had monthly closes now on these charts. So Injective just with the craziest monthly chart you'll ever see. So is it going to go straight up from here with no pullbacks? It's hard to know, right? I always lean towards monthly candles having a upper and a lower wick. There is a slight lower wick on this one. We've seen this in the past where it will pump off the monthly open. That's been a theme throughout this bull market. And then on the lower time frames, as of this morning, here was the monthly open. So we started off with a pump, a little bit of a dip down. It's now back above the 50 EMA, so it's holding nicely there. So, for me, first of all, I'm looking at Injective to continue holding in this area to go for a breakout. Obviously, if we go lower, that's going to take it into a phase where it gets a lot choppier. It has to trade and chop around there before going up, and it fills in most of the wick. So both paths are on the table. Injective's it's a swing trade for me, multi-week hold. So I'm happy with either path. Obviously, I would love it to just rip and break out. But, we don't know. Everything about the structure looks great. Injective looks strong. The chart looks good. The 4-hour EMAs are holding really nicely. So it's holding that 4-hour trend super well. Obviously, funding rates are very high. Open interest has risen. There's leverage. So another shakeout or another correction or a downtrend, none of that would surprise me given the amount of leverage in the system. But overall, I think I'm happy with the position. Invalidation is still down here at 32. And yeah, hopefully breaks out. If it doesn't, maybe there's more consolidation to come. Pepe came close to invalidation yesterday and had a really nice reaction. Someone asked me in the chats what I thought about Pepe yesterday. So it was, whenever Pepe was down here, someone said, what do you think about Pepe now? Right? This is the invalidation. So I did not a stop loss, but if there had been a 4-hour close or a daily close below that line, I would have considered it as having broken structure. And they asked, what do I think of Pepe? And I said, it looks like shit, so it'll probably be fine. Because that's psychologically, that's the nature of markets, right? Whenever it was over here and it looked terrible, that's the worst time to sell. You have to just allow your positions to play out. So it took the lows, came back inside, nice impulse higher. Now Pepe is back with bullish, positive momentum, 4-hour bands holding. I mean, my trade is very simple. I'm long from 17, added more up here, and we're just waiting now. I think it's from here, this is starting to form a nice consolidation and should be able to break out. Again, you've got your high funding rate, all of that kind of stuff. But, with momentum and with the all-time high above, I think Pepe can make a run for it. And yeah, so as for Pepe, losing this level, right? So losing the bands, losing this level, this 26, 25, that's my invalidation. Very clear. For Injective, invalidation, $32. Very clear. Outside of that, let's just let them ride. Bitcoin dominance is, BTCD is compressing, consolidating I think it's consolidating quite nicely. You're trying to look here, you don't trade Bitcoin dominance. You're trying to look at what's the trend for BTCD going to be. I think if Bitcoin has an attempt to break out today, you're going to see Bitcoin dominance rise up and break out, right? If it breaks out this morning or in the New York session. If it doesn't, if we see, and if traders see that Bitcoin is going sideways today, it's not really breaking out, I think Bitcoin dominance will keep coming down and people will chase alts. And then we go into the weekend. Very unlikely for Bitcoin to run at the weekend. That's typically alts. And you could see some altcoin action then going into the weekend. ETH BTC is the other measure for that. ETH BTC has been getting smashed against Bitcoin. I see this is a bear pendant to me. This is bearish, right? Just based on this compression. So it doesn't mean it's gonna go lower, but I would like to see it go lower because that would be great for the market. Bitcoin continues rising and ETH cools off for a bit. But again, I think the market's waiting to see if the ETF flows, if the Wall Street bulls come in and start to bid Bitcoin again. I expect alts, including Injective and Pepe, I expect them to lag as Bitcoin runs, but that's a good thing. That's what we want to see, right? And then once Bitcoin, if it breaks out 65, 66, whatever, then the altcoins can catch up after. So that's it. Injective, Pepe, GM. See you all later.